Welcome to the CWC Podcast with your hosts, David Selby, Andy Horton, and Savannah Smith.
All right, we're back here, CWC Podcast. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd. We're here at the Goat Ranch at the Baker-Spain Stampede. We've got the big stage behind us. I am here with my guests, Brandon Wren, we know as the voice of the Baker-Spain Stampede, and our special guest. First, he's our freshman announcer here, but highly experienced out in the world of rodeo. We got Monty Stueve with us today. Brandon, maybe you can give a more formal introduction to Monty, and maybe he can pick you up where you fail him.
Oh yeah, Monty's been in the business for a long time. I mean, I've been announcing for almost 20 years. He was announcing when I started. I used to work the back pins, and he was an announcer up there in the stands, and I'd help tote some speakers sometimes and come about it. He'd holler out of the announcer stand, and him and another buddy of mine always said something about, maybe you should announce one day, maybe you should do something. And so 20-some years later, here I am, and it's been an honor to bring him in now to something that I'm very proud of and very passionate of here, and now letting Monty come to my side of the fence when I used to be the guy always looking up to him, bring him side by side with me this weekend and run through this whole entire week.
It's cool. It's always it's a special thing when we can pull somebody new in, because it's very much a family and very much a team down here. We're on day 2 for you, Monty. How are you feeling so far? We're one day into this thing. We're on Tuesday, so we're getting ready to do our second night of rodeo. How was day 1 for you? Paint that picture for me.
It was more than I expected. Just pulling through the front gate was more than I expected. When you come down off of that hill and you get the view of this whole place, I said the other day, words can't describe. I mean, you just got to come and experience for yourself. But the rodeo last night was outstanding. Just the freeness of this place and how relaxed it is and how wide open it is, and everything is in its place. It's just, I mean, it's perfect. It was great. The rodeo was outstanding last night. It
was, and kudos to you guys. You guys made it something else. I mean, I talked with Brandon a little bit. I talked to both of you before the event last night, the rodeo, but specifically I kind of dialed in on you a little bit when I was interviewing Brandon, asking him about how important it is to get that second voice, that supplement or that complement to what one man can do on the mic, and he had really nice things to say about you. But let's talk about that just a little bit. Like, how does it change the game to have a second person on the mic when you're out there and you have all these people out in front of you and this whole night of events? You got all this air to fill. How important is it to have that second person? Because here we are in year 10 and we're finally doing that.
Well, I've co-announced with a lot of different announcers, and some they work, some they don't. Me and Brandon work really good together, and I think one is because neither one of us are prideful and not trying to outdo the other one. We're just doing our job, and thankfully our way works really well together. We've worked the finals together now, one of what I assume to be many finals that we've worked together, but it allows you to stop and rest and think a little bit instead of just always having to do everything by yourself. When I'm announcing, Brandon is looking at that next person and getting his thoughts together and what he's going to say. And then when he's announcing, I'm doing the same thing, and I'm looking. And if I miss something, Brandon picks it up. Or if Brandon misses it, I pick it up. And last night, we had a technical difficulty right off the bat. We had a speaker that was acting up, and I just took the mic and ran, and Brandon went and fixed the problem, and nobody knew that. So it makes it so much more relaxing and and it makes it more fun. I can spin off what Brandon's saying or add a little, just a little one-word line or just a couple of words. There was something last night that Brandon has a very special opening for this weekend, and I just said a one-line sentence last night, and he goes, "I see what you're doing. You're setting me up for this weekend." I said, "Yeah." So, I mean, it just, if you'll allow yourself to help your other guy out, man, you can just lift each other up and just make it so much better. So much better.
Yeah, and with also having the funny guy that we've always had here, Colton as well, and you guys made for a heck of a team last night. It was a good show. It was a good production. Seems like it all went pretty well.
Great.
Couldn't ask for better weather. We had a couple of little things, nothing too serious. Honestly, the biggest thing was we had a bullfighter get.
Yeah, I just
down.
talked to
We got a
just
praise
talked to him.
report. We got us a praise report.
Yes, praise report big time, because the caveus, I just talked to him just 20 minutes ago. Asked him if he was going to fight bulls tonight, and he said, no, they've got me on concussion protocol. I've got to stay out.
Yeah.
And
Well, that
but it
makes
put
sense.
stitches in the back of his head, cut him open pretty good. Bull hit him in the head, knocked him out.
Yeah.
Cut. They took him to Springfield, sewed him up.
Yeah.
But he's going to fight this weekend in the rodeo, but he's got to sit out tonight. So
Okay. Well,
could have been a lot worse.
you guys absolutely made it a show, and I'm excited for night number 2, and it's going to be a fun night. I know it's going to be a good night. Let's keep our fingers crossed for some for clear skies.
I don't think it's going to rain.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to rain.
I think it's going to cloud up, stay cool, and be just a good night.
Let's blow it away.
What was funny is it's what are we, a week away from July, and there was people sitting in the bleachers last night with hoodies on and coats on and vests on. I was like, wow, this is great.
So Brandon, you've actually been down here. You've been down here since year 2, and we're in the 10th anniversary chapter of this whole thing at the Stampede. Run me back to year 2 when you first came down here. I feel like it was a little different, maybe. How do you paint the picture of what it was like back then, and what was it rolling down into here this year?
I mean, one extreme to the other. So the first year I come down here, the gate was just a regular old set of gates at the front. There was no ticket booth up front. They had a little canopy tent set up there, and there was 2 ladies up there working it. I come down here, and I mean, it's beautiful no matter what's here. I mean, it's just the way the layout is, the valley sets, the way the hills are, the rock ledge on the far side. It was beautiful when I got down here, but there was none of the structures. There was nothing. There was a circus tent. It's one of the more big canopy tents, the big white ones, about 100 foot long, right here where this 2-story pavilion is now, and right over here on the hill. There's a set of rocks up there. We call that Lonesome Hill because I was the only lonesome survivor up there. It's me and my daughter and a canopy tent and a scissor lift. And so I would drive the scissor lift to one side of the little hill, shoot the speakers off the hill, then drive it around the other side to shoot it towards the racetrack. And that was a 3-day event that year.
You were announcing on the end of Spectator Hill, the first couple of years there.
Right there where the rocks are, right there on that ledge.
Wow.
Right on top of that flat.
And were they running down here in the bottom
They
still?
were running down here
So
in the
you
bottom.
so you were pretty far removed from the actual race.
Completely. So Amber Rose, which runs all the ranch rodeo stuff now and all the team ropings and pasture opens, I talked to her 3 days on the radio before I ever met her. That's why we called it Lonesome Hill. I talked to Jordan for the first time. I talked to her on the radio all week long.
Yeah.
Met Jordan, Spain. The very first time I met her was when she handed me my paycheck on the last day because I talked to her on the radio.
Wow.
And so from there till now is completely different. Like I was here 2 months ago, and it looks totally different 2 months later.
Yeah.
And it's just so much has evolved here, but it's done it with a group. It's not just Josh's one idea and that's what we're going to do, and it's his way or the highway. It's not that way here. We just had a meeting in there just now about some stuff we want to move for next year.
Yeah.
But it's what would be more beneficial for you.
Yeah.
Just like we're working on an announcer stand for us, it'd be more beneficial because every night we're going to tear down half of our sound system because of dew or rain or whatever. And so now we're fixing that issue. Or man, it's a little dusty down here. We're sending 2 guys in a water truck. All right, let's oil and chip the roads. Let's kill off the dust.
Yeah.
So everything has a purpose, and it's a group effort that makes it happen.
Yeah, it is. It's the little things, like you don't maybe think about the dust on the road. If you're thinking about all the things you want to do to make an event better, you maybe don't think the dust on the road is that big of a deal. But between the mud and the dust, depending on what the weather is, it makes a huge difference. And now that all these roads are chip and sealed, it has made it just feel that much bigger and more elegant and
But just
professional.
like you're talking about the weather. Yesterday it rained, it rained 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
So there's some mud spots, there's some areas.
Yeah.
I don't know how many actually showed up, but I counted 12 dump truck loads of gravel coming here.
Yeah.
Just to fix, and there might have been more, but that's just what I counted and got to see from where I was at. That it was brought in here and put down and spread out by Yoakum and the crew, just to get everything perfect.
Yeah.
So when the first person drove through the gate Monday morning, we could rock and roll.
Sounded like a construction company around here on Sunday night.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
So it's the busiest it's ever been. We're here on Tuesday. It's incredible to see just the bottom, how much it's already filled up.
Well, there's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look, there's trucks and trailers and horses, and I mean, it's just
Wagons and everything
yeah.
else.
I almost can't imagine what it's going to be like in a couple more days, especially knowing we've got Zach Top coming in. But let's hit on the concert lineup real quick. Brandon, you know him. Why don't you just go ahead and hit on it, starting with tomorrow, Wednesday, church night.
Tomorrow night, Ben Fuller is going to take the stage, and I'm really excited about that. You know, we do a lot with recovery homes and helping those addicts stay on the right path and keep them clean and sober. And so we've got a bunch of tickets gave to those folks. And tomorrow night's a free concert with Ben Fuller and the gang. And I think tomorrow night is going to be the most epic. We call it church night. I think it's going to be the most epic night we have so far in our lineup over the years. Not because it's Ben Fuller, not because I just think we've made it free finally. We got some sponsors to step up and kind of pay for it. We still got to pay the artists. I mean, they still got to make a living like everybody else.
Yep.
So I think tomorrow night's going to be awesome. Thursday night, I'm so excited for Thursday night. I've always wanted to see Diamond Rio in concert and haven't got to.
Yeah.
I've seen Zach Top in concert once in Las Vegas during the National Finals Rodeo. I got to see him there. But I'm excited for Thursday night because usually that kind of concert is Saturday. So we're going to kick it off on Thursday night with the country stuff there.
Yeah.
And then we come in on Friday night, Jack Wharf Band, Wyatt Flores, he's an Okie. So I got to pull for Wyatt. That's going to be a fun night. Saturday night, they've both been here before. They love this place.
Yeah.
And you might see them. I'm just going to say we don't have confirmation. You might see them Thursday, Friday here already.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're
That's
supposed
awesome.
to come down and rope maybe or hang out with us, but Casey Donahue and Chancey Williams will take the stage. And I've seen them guys. I've known them guys for a long time. I know that them two are going to come out together sometime in the concert and sing together. It's what they do.
That's cool.
They wanted to come here together, so we made it happen. And of course, Sunday, you can't leave out Sunday. I know the concerts are there. You want to talk about concerts, but Sunday morning, we have church service here. And last year, I don't know where we got all the chairs from because people just kept flowing in the building. The pavilion was full.
Yep.
But that concert we have that morning for Jesus is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
On Sunday morning.
Yeah. Highly recommend being here for the whole thing, but if you can't, that's kind of what the milestones of the week are for us when we're looking at it from a production standpoint. For sure, we're looking at these concerts and these events, and there's stuff going on all the time. As a matter of fact, it's weird today, Tuesday, we kind of have this gap in the afternoon that we don't like have an event that we're doing right now, which feels so weird.
Gap.
It's the only gap.
Week.
Yeah, and then it's going to be.
I have 2 meetings waiting on us right now when we get
Yeah,
done.
yep, I believe it. But this is a Chuckwagon podcast, so I want to talk about Chuckwagon racing a little bit. Monty, it's going to be your first time to announce a Chuckwagon race. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to experience it and to experience it here at a place that it's a big venue, and you can even see, we're looking at the track behind the cameras over here, and you can see how this is laid out. And this has changed year over year, and they've put a lot of work into it this last year to, as we're saying, bank the track. It's to the eye, it doesn't look that banked, but if you knew in previous years kind of how it's sloped away a little bit, they needed to kind of correct that and bring it back up, and they've done that, and they've protected the outside.
$100,000 of dirt right there.
Yeah,
to make that corner better.
Yeah, and that's probably maybe that might even undershoot it.
Yeah, well, that's just what I know.
Yeah.
About.
Yep.
Numbers.
They have worked very hard to bring that track to a place that it's going to be
So it's
safe.
like the banking at Talladega. You got
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. Them wagons, they used to slope off real bad, so them wagons would slide off there.
Yeah.
And they would come around that corner, and it was dangerous. It was just dangerous. And we got with the racers. Josh got with the racers. I just talk about it. I went down there in a meeting too. It was like, hey, from my vantage point, it looks unsafe. How do we fix this?
Yeah.
And Josh was able to get with them guys and whatever it takes to make it safer, better, and that everybody's pleased. And so that's what is the agreement they made, and it looks really well. It looks really good. But it's going to be on a safety factor on another level for our spectators as well. Coming around that curve, it's going to give it a different look. It's a good addition.
Yeah, it's really something. I'm excited for all the Chuckwagon racers to get out here and to kind of see that and start developing their own opinions, which we'll try to capture some of that as well when they come down. But maybe that's a good time to make a little plug. As we're down here shooting this week, we're shooting for season 2 of Building Spain. As everybody here on the ranch knows, we're going to have a big production down here. We'll have a crew of 13 to 15, pretty much at any given time from Thursday to Sunday. So we will be out in full force. Make sure that you guys go check out and binge watch season 1 of Building Spain on Cowboy Plus. Download the app. Check it out. It's $10 a month. You can go stream the whole thing. If you don't want to watch the rest, if you don't want to be on the channel anymore, on Cowboy channel, you can always leave. But they do have $10 a month going. If you download the app, you can stream all of Building Spain season 1, and we will finish production on season 2 at the end of Baker-Spain Stampede this week. So we're really excited about all that, and yeah, go check that out. So Monty, this is kind of your chance, okay? Ask some questions before we just stick you out there in the middle.
I don't know what to ask.
Yeah, well,
I don't even know what to ask. I mean, I just.
Well, I know you're
I
not. I
guess when they say go on Saturday, I'll go. Okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
I can't even visualize the track. You guys are going, oh, this was, and I'm like, what? I just see hay bales.
Well, that makes sense.
I just see grass and hay bales. Yeah. I mean, I don't. I don't know what to expect. I've heard a lot of things about it. I kind of got an expectation of it's a little wild, it's a little crazy. There's, I don't know. I'm just going to follow Brandon's lead and hopefully get comfortable in there somewhere and kind of figure it out. But
yeah.
You realize 9 years ago I'd never been to a check.
Right. I'm in your boots 10 years later. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, okay, let's go. And if I'm screwing it up, then somebody's going to have to say, hey, don't. No, that's wrong. But
well, fortunately,
I really don't know what to ask because I really don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen it now.
Well, there's different kinds of wagon racing out there.
Right.
I've had the privilege of recently with Andy running up to Canada, to Saskatchewan, where we got to see some professional Chuckwagon racing, but we've been enlightened, and we know that there's multiple different kinds of wagon racing. Even in Canada, you have your WPCA, your top level, your top tier that you see at Calgary and things like that, and those big rodeos, and you're talking about 4 thoroughbred horses pulling a huge wagon, and they got 2 outriders that have to trail that wagon, and you'll have 4 teams out there at a time even. We went and we saw an association, a sanctioned event called the EPCCA, and they would put 3 wagons on the track, pulled by 4 thoroughbreds at 58.5 inches tall at the withers, and they had no outriders. And are you familiar with what an outrider is?
Yes, yeah. So, I get the concept. I get all that, but as far as like, watching them come off the hill and they're going to go this way or that way, or this is where it starts, or it's like, okay, well. I'll get the hang of it here in a little bit, but
well, I'm excited to hear you go through the paces of the educational piece of it up there on the stand. I actually think that will be fun for the spectators. I like that. I like that there's someone that can ask questions for them, because you'd be surprised how many people watch wagon racing and they actually don't know all the rules.
I know when I'm announcing a rodeo, I'm sure Brandon's the same way. I try to explain. I mean, it gets redundant for me.
Yes. Yep.
I'm explaining the barrier. I'm explaining why we're doing this. I'm explaining what that is. But I got to remember, there's somebody out there that's never been to a rodeo. I get that probably 80% of that crowd has come to this rodeo. They come every year. They get an understanding. But somebody is sitting in that rodeo that's never been there.
Yep.
Soccer to me is not really fun to watch because I don't understand it.
Yep.
Football to some people is not fun to watch because they don't know why are they throwing a flag. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Well, it's the same thing.
It's the biggest sport in the world.
So it will be good because, like you said, I'll be asking the questions for them and getting the answers at the same time. But my heart skips a beat when Brandon says, "Oh, they're going to come over that hill." I'm like,
"Yeah,
that's not a little hill."
No, they will, and that's going to be specifically that race is built for that working mule, that big mule, and so they'll start down here and they'll take them up the hill and over the hill, and that is just utilizing that.
Loud. I haven't told him about the rest of it. We're going to surprise him with what else they do.
Yes, they will wow you with additional variables throughout that race, but it's really fun to watch. That's one of my favorite divisions is the big mules. All of our races that we have are different divisions, at least that are sanctioned by the Arkansas Chuckwagon Racing Association. They really have 8 divisions that they are running points. They're running for that.
Okay,
that
now
points
I was getting ready to ask that question.
Yep.
Are we, in this rodeo that we have here, the American Cowboys Rodeo Association, we have a great finals. Me and Brandon was there last year. The American Finals Rodeo at Tulsa, there's over $250,000. We take the top 15 money-wise to that rodeo.
Yeah.
And that's what they're rodeoing here for. They're trying to gain money The money they win here will count towards
Yeah.
the American Finals Rodeo.
Yes.
Same concept.
Same
here.
concept.
Yeah, we just don't have so much
Okay.
money yet. We're trying to work
Right.
up to the money piece
Right.
still, but
Right.
in the wagon racing realm, at least for the Arkansas Chuckwagon Association, we it's all points based. First place, 15 points. Second place, 14, and so on. If you show up to turn the barrel day 1 and day 2 on the race weekend, you'll get 5 points no matter what.
Just showing up.
So you do see those points totals throughout the season. We have standings. We have these 8 divisions. I'll just run down the list real quick. We've got the big horse rubber tire, which you're going to see these big, any size horses pulling a small rubber tire wagon. You'll have the 46-inch mules, which is just what it sounds like, and they're also pulling a small rubber tire wagon. 46-inch ponies, same concept. And then we step it up with the mules, 52-inch mules, and this is all measured at the withers, 52-inch pony. And then we move into the buckboard, which is also a 52-inch pony, maxing out 52 inches at the withers. And this is always 2 animals, okay? We don't ever run 4 unless it's what we call 4 up something or other, and that's not sanctioned under the association. We may or may not see some 4 ups pull, but anyways, the buckboard, that's describing the wagon, and that's a 500-pound all wooden wagon, big throwback to the old days, let's just say. And that 500-pound wooden wagon, that will be pulled at a pretty high rate of speed around the barrel. We always run 2 teams in a heat, and they'll bust around the small track, as we call it, and then we'll have the big mules, and those are your 2 any size mules that are pulling a small rubber tire wagon up and over that hill and down and around and across the backstretch. And then we'll wrap it up. And they're
So I'm
moving.
going to ask the question,
Uh-huh.
because nobody goes to Talladega to watch a car turn left for 500 miles. Do they wreck?
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
yeah.
I mean, yes, they do a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, a little bit.
We lose
Sometimes.
we lose some wheels. We lose some
Yeah,
tires.
yeah,
We lose
yeah.
some, yeah.
The wagons, they have definitely standardized these things. They all look the same anymore. It's really kind of developed over the years.
Sure.
It's, in its own way, it's professionalized a lot. But you'll see all those rubber tire wagons will all look, they're the same, And then you're really just switching out livestock. And so those big mules are really fun to watch because just like in the big horse, when you have an any sized animal and say, get the biggest one, get the fastest one,
Right.
it gets pretty interesting on those little
Sure,
wagons because
sure.
they're not pulling as much. It also is interesting. I love watching the buckboards because they're fast and it's a throwback. It's old timey, but
Anything in just a straight line, or does
they'll circle the track.
Okay.
They'll start here in the front. They'll circle the track in front of the crowd, go across. They'll go in front of your embankment out there, if you
Right.
will, or your hay bales,
yeah.
and then they'll finish on the back stretch over here.
I got you.
And then the long track is really reserved for your big horse rubber tire and your classic, which is, again, that's your any size, usually thoroughbreds or crossbreed horses that are going to pull a 1,000-pound all wooden wagon. That's that old school
Right.
covered wagon. You're required to have a chuck box and a lantern, and then you have to have your items like your stove, which is a
Right.
prop, and a bedroll. So you've got your driver, they're in place, they're ready to go, but you have a cook who has to load the bedroll and jump into the wagon whenever your starter says, "Cooks, load your wagons." Once that cook loads the wagon and jumps in, they snap the pistol, and that's when your outrider, who's on a different animal over here, a horse, an outriding horse,
Right.
they've got that stove that's touching the ground, and they can't bring it off the ground until they snap that gun. Once that gun snaps, they can throw the stove in, mount their horse, circle the barrel, and they got to beat their nose of their team, that wagon team.
So the outrider's got to be at the line first.
Yep, and that's one thing that even in the Canadian racing, it used to be that your outrider would have to finish ahead. They race on an enclosed track, a dirt track, obviously.
I'm assuming the outrider is signifying. He's the one, the forward observer. He's out there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, well, and
looking
even,
for trouble.
Yeah, and your cook, who's in the wagon, he's telling his driver, "Hey, you got one on your right. You got a wagon.
got
You
you.
got a wagon coming to the inside."
Co-pilot.
It's kind of your co-pilot in there, and then your outrider. Usually, by the time he's done all of these athletic moves to get the stove in and mount his horse, he's playing a game of catch-up.
That's where it gets a little interesting.
That's where it's really.
That's what I was going to say, because say your wagon's leading the race, but your outrider's.
It's do or die. If he doesn't make it past, it's not a penalty. You don't get a penalty. You don't get anything. You get a no time if that outrider does not beat your team. So that's one thing that's very different about Arkansas racing when you compare it to Canadian wagon racing, how they
about
race
the
up north.
Pony Express.
Yeah.
Some of them don't ever touch a stirrup
Right.
till they're all the way in the saddle.
Yep.
That's where it gets wild and western.
It does. And then if they don't get that stove in, hypothetical, if they didn't get the stove in, had a little fumble at the line, as long as they can get that thing into the wagon before the race is over
No matter how.
and pass, they can still get their qualified time.
so he can throw it in as he's running by.
Yeah, and so I'll be willing to bet you're going to
That
see
happened
that.
more than once last
Yeah,
year.
you'll see some of these things happen, and I'm excited for you to see it. So yeah, that's kind of our lineup of the 8 divisions of Chuckwagon racing for the Arkansas Chuckwagon Racing Association. They will run on Saturday and Sunday, 1 o'clock each day. There will be a pre-show on Saturday that I am sure you do not want to miss. Are there any teasers that we want to leak on that, or are we letting that one? You got to show up to see it. Anything, Brandon? On
America, by God.
America.
It's America.
there's your spoiler alert. America. Hoping for good weather this weekend. If it rains, we're
If
going
he
to
was
race
at the
them.
rodeo last night, you got a little bit of a hint
Yeah.
of what he's going to talk about. That's all I'll say.
Yep. And he does a great job.
And I still don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Whatever comes out.
that seems to work out pretty good. But again, thank you guys, Brandon, Monty. Thank you for being here. It's
Man,
exciting.
I want to say thank you to Brandon. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, and we worked the finals together last year, and thankfully Josh took a liking to us, and Brandon
Well, I invited
invited me.
Josh and Jordan to
Yeah.
the finals last year, and to get on board and kind of come hang out and see me outside of the ranch, see
Yep.
me outside. They've seen a couple of bull
Yeah.
rides over the years that I've done around close, but come to the pinnacle of our sport,
Yep.
and come see me in another light.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they came, and on Saturday night, Josh came up to me and he said, "Man," he said, "you two together is like butter. Y'all just melt together."
Yeah.
And a couple
Respectfully.
weeks later, he called me and he said, "You need to call that guy. You call that guy. Was it Monty?" I mean, it was just a one night they
Yeah.
visited for a
Cool.
minute. And I said, "Yeah, Monty Stueve." He said, "We need to get him.
Cool.
We need to bring him in a circle." I said, "It's a phone call, bro. I'll call you back."
Yeah.
And here we are. So it was exciting just for them to see me and my other side of my business outside of being down here on the ranch, the Goat Ranch, the Baker-Spain Stampede. I get to come to the party in the pasture every couple of years, but the way my schedule runs. But to bring someone else in
Yeah.
that I've talked about, told them about Baker-Spain, and then bringing the rest of the rodeo crew in that I've worked with quite a bit. It meant a lot to me. It all happened because I invited them to come to the rodeo and let's go this route.
Absolutely.
And it happened.
Well, Monty, welcome to the family.
you.
It's good to have you here.
Excited.
Don't forget, guys, subscribe, relive the ride at chuckwagonchannel.com. $11 a month or $99 for the year. We will be putting the races on there when it's all said and done, and who knows what else from the Baker-Spain Stampede is going to creep its way onto the channel. But we are sure excited for the rest of the week. Make sure you get down here, get in those front gates, get down here, find you a camping spot, post up, find a good spot on the edge of the track out here and watch the races, because it's going to be a very good time. We've got a very good lineup of concerts this weekend, and I can assure you it will not break the bank to come down here and spend a couple days. So,
And the food is phenomenal.
yeah, not to
Oh.
mention, we got vendors left and right. It's a very good time down here. But we will see you when you get down here, or we will see you out on the track. That's where we stop.
Perfect.
Thanks for listening to the CWC podcast.